Hi, this is WhaTap. Let's have a look at WhaTap Server Monitoring. First of all, most Linux can be monitored with WhaTap Server Monitoring. Windows servers are also available. Let's start the tutorial. This is the first screen you see when you connect to WhaTap Server Monitoring. In the current example, we are monitoring a total of 12 servers, 11 Linux servers, and 1 Windows server. Consolidated resource information for all the servers are provided on the side. On the right, it shows the CPU, memory, and disk I/O of the top 5 of all monitored servers. The bottom shows the top 5 CPU and MEM-intensive processes, and if you click the small button next to the CPU resource map, you can see the server health map in honeycomb design. In this form, the server is shown blue for normal, orange for warning, red for critical, and gray for disabled. The advantage of this type of form is that it's easy to discern which server's resources are at risk, even when you are dealing with thousands of servers. Now let's go to the list of servers by pressing the small arrow that is next to the 12 servers. The server list on this side also provides columns for resources, but we'll click on a specific entry to see detailed metrics. It provides the most important metrics of server operations, CPU, MEM, and disk, and additionally network traffic I/O. Click the plus button in the top right corner of each item to see more details. For example, let's click the plus on the memory usage. Some memories are actually used, but there are also layers like buffered, cached, etc. This is why the plus button on each item is useful to see memories in detail. And on the right-hand side, information in relation to the processes are displayed. If your CPU is high, you can see why it's high and which processes are using most of it. This is where you can grasp such information. And then at the bottom of that, a bit of server information is given too. In this case, it is the Ubuntu 20.04.2 LTS version. Next, we'll go to the Resource Equalizer tab on the left. This tab displays the resources of the monitored servers in an equalizer-style graph, allowing you to compare resources per server at a glance. Next, the so-called compound eye has a similar purpose, graphically representing the items in the resource in circles to make it easier to see which resources are being used more. The colors of each circle are indicated at the top. Next up is the Flexboard. This tab helps you configure your own customized dashboards. Click Create Dashboard in the top right corner, and on the screen that appears. Let's name the Flexboard being created as test_dashboard. And for this tutorial, we're going to select the fixed layout Flexboard on the left. You'll then see a blank screen pop up with the Edit Mode tab. And you can explore the widgets on the left to see what they are, or you can tap all metrics at the top to see what metrics are being collected by WhaTap. You can configure each item from scratch, but may also use the pre-configured templates. Now we're going to go to the tab on the left, that is the metrics chart. This tab shows a number of submetrics related to CPU, memory, and disk. In this metrics chart tab, you can select only the server agents you want to graph as an aggregate, or change the presentation of the information to 5-second, 5-minute, or 1-hour statistics, depending on the time range you choose. By setting the time range to 3 hours or less, and clicking this button, we can get to the most accurate view with 5-second increments of data. Let's check out the Cube tab. When you hover the cursor, each square is divided by 5 minutes. Basically, we will have a total of 288 squares. Since the current metric of interest is CPU, light blue indicates low CPU utilization, and darker colors indicate times of high CPU utilization. Click on a specific column to see a summary of important metrics that can provide a meaningful view. There are also separate tabs for CPU, memory, disk, and network. Next is the Reports tab. Daily, weekly, and monthly reports can be generated. For example, let's click on the monthly server report, which shows how many hosts there are in total, the IP address for each server being monitored, the number of alarms raised, and the average and maximum of resource items listed by date. You can download these report items as HTML files, or you can also schedule a report mailing. Next up is the setting for alert notifications. Notification settings are often very important. You can watch WhaTap's monitoring screen real-time, but at other times, you can also receive alerts via text, email, or third-party if you prefer. You can view the templates that exist by default in the event settings, and toggle on off the ones you want with a simple click. You can set your own thresholds, either warning or danger, for which you want to receive alarms. In alarms, there are also process alarms. Select the process you want to monitor in the desired agent and select the process owner. Please be aware that if you nominate the wrong owner of the process, you may not get an alarm. You may set the number of processes, CPU, memory, etc. that you want. When you go to the Event Reception Settings tab, you can choose where you want to receive alerts, such as SMS, email. You can also select a third party, such as Slack, Telegram, Teams, or WhatsApp. However, please note that the integration method and screen may differ slightly depending on whether you are using WhaTap as an on-premise or SaaS. You can also view the history of recent events in the Event History tab. Thanks for watching the WhaTap Server Monitoring tutorial.